In the heart of the jungle, two elephant brothers, Jumbo and Bumbo, lived a life full of fun and adventure. Jumbo, the elder of the two, was known for his sharp wit and problem-solving skills. He could remember every trail and watering hole in the vast jungle. His intelligence was admired by all. On the other hand, Bumbo, the younger brother, was celebrated for his incredible strength. He could uproot the thickest trees and carry the heaviest loads without breaking a sweat. His strength was respected far and wide. Despite their differences, the bond between Jumbo and Bumbo was unbreakable. They spent their days exploring the lush greenery, playing with other animals, and bathing in cool water streams. Their camaraderie was truly a sight to behold, a testament to the strong ties of brotherhood. One day, the brothers decided to host a grand gathering for all their friends. But that's a story for another day. With a twinkle in their eyes, Jumbo and Bumbo started to plan their gathering. The two elephant brothers, with their hearts full of joy and trunks full of anticipation, began to map out their grand plan. They wanted to invite all their friends from every corner of the jungle to their cozy elephant home. It was going to be a gathering of laughter, stories, and most importantly, friendship. Jumbo, the older and slightly more responsible brother, took charge of the guest list. "Let's start with Cheetah," he said. "She's the fastest, so she'll get the news around in no time." With a nod from Bumbo, the invitation was sent through the jungle grapevine to the swift Cheetah. Next on the list was Tortoise, the slowest of them all. But Jumbo and Bumbo knew that every friend mattered, no matter how slow. They sent the invitation, knowing it might take a while to reach Tortoise. But they also knew that he would be there, eventually. As they went through the list, from the tallest giraffe to the tiniest ant, excitement began to bubble up in the jungle. The news of the gathering spread like wildfire. Every rustle of the leaves, every chirp of the birds, every ripple in the water whispered the same thing. Jumbo and Bumbo are throwing a party. The anticipation hung in the air, as tangible as the sweet scent of the jungle flowers. Every animal, big and small, fast and slow, waited with bated breath for the day of the gathering. The jungle was abuzz with preparations. There were whispers of what everyone would bring, what stories would be told, what games would be played. The excitement was contagious, and even the usually quiet jungle seemed to hum with anticipation. The elephant brothers could hardly contain their joy. They knew that this gathering was going to be something special, a day to remember. As the sun set, the jungle buzzed with the news of the upcoming gathering. The day of the gathering arrived, and the brothers were busy with the preparations. Now, when it comes to hosting a gathering of elephants, it's no small task. Let's start with the food. Our two brothers, let's call them Ellie and Eddie, had to make sure there was enough food for everyone. And we're not talking about a few peanuts here. We're talking about mountains of fruits, piles of leaves, and a river of water. Ellie was in charge of the food, and he was running around trying to gather as much as he could. At one point, he tripped over a watermelon and rolled down a hill, but he got up and continued with his task. Meanwhile, Eddie was in charge of setting up the games. He had this brilliant idea of elephant soccer, using a giant ball, but do you know how hard it is to inflate a ball that big? Poor Eddie was huffing and puffing, his cheeks puffed out like balloons. And when the ball was finally ready, it bounced away, and Eddie had to chase it across the field. Then there was the mishap with the decorations. Ellie and Eddie wanted to hang up some banners, but they kept getting tangled up in them. They would stretch out a banner only for it to snap back and wrap around them. It was a sight to behold, two huge elephants wrapped up in colorful banners, looking like giant presents. But despite all the mishaps and misadventures, the brothers didn't give up. They worked together, helping each other out, laughing at their mistakes and making the best of the situation. And in the end, they managed to pull it all together. The food was piled high, the games were set up, and the decorations, well, let's just say they added a touch of uniqueness to the gathering. Finally, everything was ready for the grand gathering. The jungle came alive with the sounds of laughter and cheer as the gathering began. In the heart of the jungle there was a buzz like never before. The elephant brothers, known for their fun-loving nature and warm hearts, had invited their friends over, and the gathering was nothing short of grand. It was a spectacle of joy, friendship, and a whole lot of elephant-sized fun. The games were the first to kick off the event. There was trunk tug-of-war where teams would pull at a giant vine with their trunks. It was a hilarious sight as the elephants grappled, grunted, and even groaned, all in the spirit of fun. Then came the water spray contest, a game where the one who could spray water the highest using their trunk was crowned the winner. It was quite a splashy affair, with everyone getting drenched and laughing their hearts out. And oh, the food! There were piles of delicious, crunchy bamboo shoots, mountains of ripe, juicy fruits, and rivers of cool, clear water. The elephants feasted like kings, munching, gulping, and slurping with delight. Then, as the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of pink and orange, the storytelling began. Each elephant had a tale to share, some funny, some adventurous, and some simply unbelievable. There was Trunky, the smallest among them, who had once outsmarted a sly fox. Then there was Bumbo, the oldest and wisest, who narrated tales of the time when he had saved the entire herd from a wildfire. The stories brought laughter, gasps, and wide-eyed wonder. As the stories unfolded, the characters of the friends began to shine through. Trunky, despite his size, was brave and clever. Bumbo, with his years of wisdom, was calm and courageous. Then there were the brothers themselves, always ready with a joke, always ready to lend a helping trunk. They were the life of the gathering. The day was filled with joy and merriment, but as the moon began to replace the sun, casting a soft glow over the jungle, it was time to wrap up the grand gathering. But not before the grandest event of them all, the feast. The elephants gathered around a massive spread of their favorite foods, relishing each bite, each flavor. It was a sight to behold, a testament to their camaraderie and friendship. And as the feast came to an end, each elephant, full and content, made a promise. A promise to meet again, to share more stories, play more games, and make more memories. Because that's what friends do, they stick together, through thick and thin, through fun and games, through stories and feasts. As the moon rose high, the gathering ended with a grand feast and a promise to meet again. As the jungle returned to its peaceful slumber, Jumbo and Bumbo looked at the remains of the day. You see, the day had been one filled with laughter, fun, and a whole lot of elephant-sized friendship. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, our two elephant brothers looked around at the footprints, the half-eaten fruits, and the slightly trampled grass. It was a scene that spoke volumes about the merry chaos that had ensued during the day. Let's take a stroll down memory lane, shall we? Remember when Jumbo and Bumbo had welcomed their friends with open trunks and wide smiles? Remember how their friends had trumpeted their greetings in return, their excitement echoing through the jungle? The day had been one of sharing stories, playing games, and simply enjoying each other's company. There was that hilarious moment when Jumbo had tried to balance a coconut on his trunk only to have it roll down and hit Bumbo's foot. And who could forget the impromptu mud bath they all took when they decided to cool off from the hot sun? Or that time when they all joined their trunks together, creating a giant circle of camaraderie and friendship. As Jumbo and Bumbo looked around, they could almost hear the echoes of their friends' laughter and the trumpets of joy. Their hearts were filled with warmth and a sense of contentment. Yes, the day had been tiring, but it was the good kind of tired. The kind that comes from a day well spent, from making memories that would last a lifetime. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. And so, as the moon replaced the sun in the sky, the brothers knew it was time to bid adieu to the day. But this was not a goodbye. Oh no, this was a see you soon. Because they just knew, that there would be many more gatherings, many more memories to make. With hearts full of joy and memories, Jumbo and Bumbo fell asleep, dreaming of the next grand gathering in the jungle.